frosted glass.
Woo! Guys, welcome back. It's Death Curse Society. The gang's all here. I'm Red Crank. I got the Colonel. I got Zigzag.
Woo!
What?
Colonel threw a... I can't even do the gang signs that he throws up. They're so weird.
Oh, the shocker?
I know what it's called. I can't do it. My hands are like they're not good. My hands are not good. Later on in the show, we're going to be looking at a review for Babysitter, Killer Queen, exclusively on Netflix. And then we're going to look at the trailers for Killer Therapy and Freaky. It's going to be a freaky kind of day, I can already tell. Before we get into any of that, don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube. Hit that notification bell so you know when we drop a video every single time. Follow us on social media. And get ready, folks. It's time to take you to the Deep South. And let's go camping.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you? You'll never come back again. It's got a death curse.
For Let's Go Camping this time around, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to review the movie Antebellum, which is available on video on demand right now. Antebellum is about the successful author Veronica Henley, who finds herself trapped in a horrifying reality that forces her to confront the past, present, and future before it's too late. I cannot wait to get into this with you guys because I think this is going to be a little fun. Let me get initial thoughts from Colonel this time. Antebellum.
And no, we're not talking about that shitty country group Antebellum. I think that's what they're called. I don't know.
Lady Antebellum.
Same difference. Fuck it. Lady Antebellum could kiss my ass. Antebellum was a pretty good movie, even though, taking everybody's thunder here, I know we all thought it. Jordan Peele and M. Night Shyamalan had a love child. It would be Antebellum. Don't want to go in too far because I know Crank's going to have a bunch of follow-up questions. The acting was great. I really enjoyed the musical scores of the movie. I just wish it was a little bit more of a linear story. I figured it out pretty quick, but I'll be honest, in the beginning, I'm like, so we're starting off in the middle of the fucking movie? Because you kind of do.
Kind of.
But it doesn't take away from the story too much.
I'm glad you mentioned the musical score because that was one thing that just kept kind of coming back to me while I was watching it. And there were several scenes that hit me musically that I just had to rewind and kind of rewatch a little bit. What about you, Ziggy? Initial thoughts on Antebellum?
Yeah, your description is very, very vague to what this is. Antebellum is not a bad film. Things I thought were flaws, you come to find they are intentional, and it's cool. You know, it's a twist, right? It's a time thing, and if you know, as Colonel mentioned, the village, you can figure out what we're getting at. Yeah, you got some really scumbag villains doing some scumbag shit, and you'd hope that stuff like this doesn't exist these days. But this movie's not bad, man. It's definitely worth a watch, and it does get you thinking on you know how bad and shitty things were back in the day. But the twists, they're worth it. And as a whole, like I said, I wasn't enjoying it up until things started happening with the twists, and then as a whole, I really appreciate the crafting of this film. It is good.
Holy shit! Am I on Death Curse Society? Am I in the right place? I'm not quite sure I'm in the right spot right now. This is amazing. I like this. This movie is one of those movies that forces you to think and forces you to pay attention. You guys know my love and adoration for tracking shots. And this movie starts with a great tracking shot, and it's beautifully filmed. Imagine having to structure that 6-minute tracking shot and have all those moving pieces set up, ready to go, and get it in one take. And they did a great job of doing it. A lot of the rest of the film, the colors were just popping. They were so vibrant. Whether you were in 21st century New Orleans or 19th century Louisiana, it didn't matter, you know, where you were, the cinematography was great. And the lighting and the framing of it were just wonderful.
Where this one differs is like where we were bitching about the Pale Door, how it didn't quite look right when they jumped back and forth. I was feeling the same way until shit starts happening. You start to realize, okay, what's going on? And then I was like, okay, now I like the way they shot this. Very smart. They deliver on it on a whole bunch of levels, and I'm not surprised by the team from Get Out and Us delivered on something like this. It's a good fucking movie.
Yeah, here's what really helped Antebellum compared to the Pale Door. Budget.
All right, you know,
right.
That's true.
the movie does rely heavily on the influences of Jordan Peele, of M. Night Shyamalan, like you guys have already mentioned. But I think it still has that nice twist that makes you think that's pretty good. We're all trying to be careful because this is one of those movies I don't want to spoil right now. I know we're going to have to here in a minute. I appreciate the fact that you guys are even kind of like being very careful about the way and what we say because...
You know, there are good payoffs in this one. It's actually... Yeah. You're kind of like, all right, I see what you did there. That's cool, you know. And then, you know, I don't want to mess that up. It kind of saves the movie, really.
Ziggy, let me ask you this: should this movie have been released in theaters?
I think it would have done well in theaters. I do. I think it would have drawn a mass appeal. And then once the word got out on how good it is, everyone else would have went and saw it too. So I mean, yeah, I think definitely it would have done well in theaters.
Would have done well to 2020 standards, yes. I still think it would have missed out on the larger audience as a whole as compared to video on demand, because you can pimp this out on video on demand. I was seeing ads for it on Apple TV. This is a movie a mass audience needs to see. I think it served itself better not going to theaters with the current pandemic world we live in, unfortunately.
I know this movie has been delayed a lot due to the pandemic over the year. I believe it was supposed to originally come out in February. And it was backed up to August, and it was backed up to now. And a couple weeks ago, it was still supposed to come out in theaters a couple weeks ago, and they scrapped that and just went the video on demand route. I would have loved to have seen this in a theater. And I also would have liked to have seen it with a couple of people. I would have loved to have seen this with somebody else and then spark that discussion. Obviously, most of the people that are out there watching, they know the movie has a racial undertone to it. And it's not even really an undertone. It's an overtone. It's in your face. These are discussions that I think should be had in 2020 still. Ziggy, what do you think?
Absolutely. It's Johnny Knoxville smacking Wee Man with a fish kind of overtone. You know what I'm saying? It's way over the top. It's a serious subject, you know. Some horrible shit went down in our history, and I'm happy that it's not really trying to change anything, you know. They're depicting scumbags in the Deep South that would probably be okay with this kind of idea. So that's what's scary. That's the horror of this movie, really.
Do you think this is a bold statement for race relations in 2020, or do you think this is just one of those, what a lot of people would say is just kind of a propaganda film, just throwing the message out there for their fans and leaving all the, you know, entitled white people out?
Well, I can't consider it a propaganda film because I'm pretty sure production began before 2020 and the killing of George Floyd and everything hit the fan. I mean, any smart person, we saw it coming. The fuse was lit and it blew the fuck up. So no, I wouldn't say it's a propaganda film. To me, it's just a good lesson without giving away too many spoilers that if you don't learn from the past, you're doomed to repeat it. Maybe not to the extreme the movie is, but you can see the similarities. I'm already stuck trying to give away any spoilers on this one.
That's the hardest part about this. It's so weird. If the viewers out there want to have a private discussion about this, let us know in the comments, and we'll chat about it with you there. But we're trying to keep things kind of non-spoilery for this. I'll be honest, I think this is kind of too important of a film, especially for the time that we're in right now, to give too much away. If you're paying attention, you'll figure it out. Ziggy, you think this is a bold statement or a propaganda?
No, propaganda, absolutely not. This is a storytelling, and it's done well. The timing, okay, a little coincidental with the current climate of the world, but I don't think it was set out to make this to stick it in the face of the whiteys out there that are, you know, might not think quite as normal as the rest of us do. So this is just great. Hey, man, if the saltine fits, cracker.
Cracker ass cracker. Cracker ass cracker. I'll put my foot in the cracker ass cracker. I wish that cracker would have said some shit to me. Saltine ass motherfucking cracker. Motherfucker. Cracker, kiss my ass, you fucking cracker.
Yeah, you mentioned the use of the term cracker in there. And I did read something somewhere where the writer-directors Gerard Bush and Christopher Renz intentionally left the N-word out. Use of other racial epithets were okay, I guess, but they wanted that one left alone. Do you think that changed the way the movie is effective? Ziggy?
No, it works fine without that. You didn't need that at all. I didn't notice it. I wasn't looking for it. And it honestly never crossed my mind while I was watching it, because what you're actually looking at is ridiculously inhumane enough. If that's what you're looking for, man, I don't know. Maybe this movie isn't for you, because you'll probably be disappointed. But, I mean, it wasn't necessary, and I think they pulled it off famously.
And I agree with you. I didn't even notice it until after I was doing some reading up after I had seen the movie. And then I saw that article that I was just referencing. And I was like, yeah, I don't remember them saying that at all. Colonel, do you think that would have changed anything about the way you would have viewed the movie?
No, not at all. I mean, just like you guys, I never noticed the lack of the word at all. It wasn't what I was looking for. I'll be honest, when I heard cracker, I chuckled. It was well deserved. The dude's a fucking prick. But that was it. Like, I literally didn't even cross my mind. I didn't even read the article. Didn't even know until you just told me they purposely left that word out. But it wasn't needed.
Nope.
Let me talk a little bit about something else here, because there's a part of this movie, story-wise, you don't really see coming. There's a lot of fucking humor in this. And you don't expect it, especially after the first 40 minutes is just so brutal. Could have been a little more brutal. And then there's light and comedy and the introduction of Gabourey Sidibe's character, and steals the fucking show. Colonel, what do you think of her character?
Be honest with you, I kind of wish she would have fucking died. Straight up, total bitch.
You didn't like her personally? I mean, is there like a reason behind that, or just
her character? Literally, just what I said. Her character was a complete and utter fucking bitch for no fucking reason. She was annoying. I guess she played her role perfectly. I guess she was supposed to be annoying.
Yeah, I think she was supposed to be. Ziggy, what do you think of her?
She's a Oprah-like writer, you know, a relationship therapist kind of person, and she's super famous. A successful, strong black woman. This is what I'm sure that's what they worded in the script, what they were looking for. And she delivers, and there's a good chemistry between the three girls. It helps, you know what I mean? It does help you like them and appreciate them more, I think. That scene with those people involved absolutely fed to the story and helped it along. And especially when you're figuring out what the fuck is happening, it's needed.
It definitely recentered my viewing experience just a little bit before it got back to the hellscape that it was. All right, so I think we've talked enough deep talk for now. Let's go ahead and score it. Ziggy, score Antebellum for us.
I was really surprised, because I really didn't know what the hell to expect with this movie. You know, we've had the trailer and a bunch of delays. It usually doesn't spell good for a movie when it's delayed that long. I enjoyed this. It wasn't bad. It definitely worth a watch. It may be worth several watches. This is something that you could go back and probably watch again and catch other things. I'm going to give Antebellum a 7. Does lack the supernatural, that is one thing, but sometimes real horror is that much scarier, man.
Yeah, I don't think you really need the supernatural in this. The horrors of real life are enough in this instance. I agree with you. I'm watching it again today once we get done with this, because I just want to watch it again just to make sure I soak a little bit more of it in.
Well, for 20 fucking bucks, you know what I mean? You get 3 days on this thing. I'm definitely going to watch it at least one more time.
Exactly. Colonel, what's your score on this one?
I thought the acting was great. Musical scores were fantastic. Helped the story along, which is a great story. And it's really, like I said, it's a thinker too. Not just while you're watching the movie, well, after the movie, it's a thinker. As a movie, I was really looking forward to watching. I believe I said on the show, like, oh, I can't wait for this one. The wait was worth it. I'm going to give it a 7.5. And I think that's a very fair score.
I mirror pretty much everything these guys say. Acting great, cinematography great, score great. Just a good movie. Different in the way it's told, but interesting enough in the storyline. And definitely is something to think about. And it's a topic to think about and a topic to talk about with your friends. Because if you're not having discussions with your friends, especially your friends of color, we're not progressing as a society. And I'm going to give Antebellum an 8. Antebellum scoring about a 7.5 in the median age there with 3 of us. We recommend it. Sounds like you go check it out. It's available on video on demand now. So go and look it up and give it a shot. We're going to take a quick break and hopefully not talk so fucking serious when we come back after these messages.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
Wondershare Filmora is a user-friendly, easy-to-use video editing software which contains hundreds of special effects for video that allows you to easily create a unique visual effect. Head to www.wondershare.net and get started editing now.
The Death Curse Society has just become an associate producer on the film.
Yes.
Bravo. Death Curse Society, guys, is so awesome. I met the guys, all three of the guys, at Indianapolis last year for Horror Hound. And I met those dudes, and I gotta tell you, like, I hung out with them, we took pictures, I signed some stuff, they gave me a t-shirt. It was awesome. They are awesome guys. So super cool. I am so glad to have them on board this campaign and also on board the film. And now they are going to be IMDb credited as producers on this movie.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Live from Horror Hound, Cincinnati. I just want to give you tipsters a big tip. I want you to listen to, tune in, or tune out to Death Curse Society. Twice a month, available on YouTube. Okay, it's a podcast you want to talk to and listen to and be a part of. Death Curse Society. Listen to what I'm telling you. God bless everybody.
Welcome back to Death Curse Society, everybody. Glad you're sticking around with us because you know what? It's time for a lot of news real quick in stories around the campfire.
Ooh.
I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
Hey, come back!
First up on Stories Around the Campfire, we got a chance to check out the new movie on Netflix from McG, Babysitter, Killer Queen. It's part 2 in the Babysitter saga that we've gotten so far. Colonel, talk to us about the Babysitter, Killer Queen.
Before we get to that, let's go back to the Babysitter, because I did have time to rewatch that. As we all remember, little boys in love with this babysitter. She sees her and a group of friends kill somebody. They try to kill him, and somehow the West takes out the entire fucking crew with a joke or two in between. Let's fast forward 2 years to Babysitter Killer Queen. The boy is 2 years older in timeline, 8 years older in appearance, along with everybody else. They skip school, go hang out at the lake. Shit goes wrong, and we're treated to exactly the same fucking movie we were treated to 2 years ago. Pretty much the same premise, boys on the run trying to get killed. And a few differences, enough to make it think you're watching a different movie. It's kind of like Zombieland Double Tap. It's the same movie as the first with just enough changes to make it feel fresh, but not nearly as good as The Babysitter. And that ending, wow. Not a good wow either. I was just like, like I was so deflated.
I thought it was great. And as he likes to do, the Colonel steals the thunder. Except for the ending, man. I really was let down by the ending big time. But I thought the jokes and the pace of the movie ramped it up and doubled down on some of the jokes in a way that were absolutely hysterical. It was great. It was really good. The gore is pretty creative, explicit, and generous. McG delivered again. It's yeah. If you want to go down to it, it is the same. Absolutely the same premise with some new antagonists, but you see some familiar faces along the way. And yeah, the ending sucks. It's totally worth it, man. If you like the first one, this one is not to be missed.
Well, the ending, if we can talk about that a little bit, kind of contradicts The Babysitter, the first one also, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know, because the ritual is slightly different, if you guys noticed. And also, Bee's returning is different in part 1 than it is in part 2. So, like, the reasons for her returning are different. And not quite sure how they didn't see that because the babysitter's not that old. I would assume the people that created the Babysitter, who worked on part 2, remember these things, but did they intentionally screw it up to make up for it in another movie later? I don't know. What do you think, Colonel?
I hope so, man, because like you said, the plot holes were fucking insane. I don't want to spoil it too much. Granted, it's been on Netflix for a couple weeks now, so I'm pretty sure people have seen this if they wanted to see it. To me, it just kind of ruined the fucking movie, to be honest with you. That's why I couldn't get into it that much.
Really?
It was funny, yes. It had great gore, yes. But the plot holes is like watching fucking The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. Except for it's the opposite, where you have to make a third one to film the fucking plot, like just like any Star Wars, I guess I should say. You gotta make a third one just film the plot holes from the second one, because it was so fucking terrible. It's like, what the fuck? Fuck, man, that movie's like Swiss cheese, dude. I'm just telling you. The plot
It's not plot reliant though, man. This is just the kind of movie just go with it, man. This is definitely sit down, get your popcorn, and just go with it, and you'll laugh. Glaring plot holes aside, they don't change. It doesn't ruin the whole outcome of the movie. You know, and like I said, I don't know. This it's as canon as Friday the 13th is. You know what I mean? Who cares? It's fun to watch.
To be fair, Friday the 13th, you had a different director every fucking year for every fucking movie. This is the same fucking people, or Craig said. You should have some consistency here.
You may be onto something, setting up a third movie, doing it this way. That's all I can really think of. But again, it didn't bother me at all. None of that shit that they're bitching about. I'm telling you, it's still entertaining. Ending aside, and it should be, you know, on Netflix. What else you got to lose? You're already paying for it, so go ahead and watch it.
I enjoyed it, and yes, it's got some great laughs in it. It's got some good gore in it, like you mentioned. I thought pacing was good. It didn't seem too long. It almost could have. A movie like this, a lot of times, does feel too long to me because most of the time the laughs just don't hit me right. This one, the laughs work. I think a lot of that is the performances. I mean, the performances of all the demons and most of the characters just in general are over the top. They're exaggerations of themselves, and that works for this style of movie. I enjoyed it, but I don't like Colonel says, the plot holes. I mean, there's plot holes. You could drive a damn bus through. I have a sneaky suspicion that since B had this kind of motivation in part 1, and then in part 2, completely switched around. Why? We don't really know. Something weird happened between part 1 and part 2 that's going to be explained in a part 3 a couple years down the road. That's my theory. You guys want to score it? Ziggy!
It's entertaining. It's fun. There's so much worse out there than movies like this. I'll give it another 7. 7 again, baby.
Yes, it was funny, especially I'm not even mad, bro. I'm sorry, I laughed my ass off when that happened. So yes, it had its ups, it had its downs. I'm going to give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 as well because I did enjoy it. I thought it was a fun watch. I think horror comedy fans out there would enjoy it, and I definitely think fans of the original Babysitter will get into it. Babysitter, Killer Queen is available on Netflix right now. Go stream it and let us know what you think in the comments. And we'll talk to you about it. Yeah. Next up on Stories Around the Campfire, we got a couple of trailers to drop on you guys and then talk about. First one is Killer Therapy, available now on Blu-ray and video on demand.
You say your son is dealing with some anger issues.
So that's the trailer for Killer Therapy, which is available on video on demand and Blu-ray right now. Ziggy, what'd you think of the trailer? Are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, it looks weird. It looks like it could be decent. I'm not sure, though. Looks like it could be one of those movies where I'm like, man, what the fuck? I'm not sure yet. I'll check it out, though, as we do here. But looking forward to maybe a strong choice of words, but I'll check it out for sure.
I'm with Zag. It looks interesting. I'm not going to lie. The scene where he runs up on the guy and getting in his car with a baseball bat and cracks him on the head gave me a good laugh. I guess I was 6. And it's humor like that. I was like, that's awesome. And the lineup is fucking fantastic with your horror legends, which gives me a feeling of dread about this movie. Yeah. That's a hell of a lineup for a con. Typically when they do these in these straight-to-video movies, they're usually fucking terrible. So that's what has me worried. But I'll still check it out because could be good, could be shit.
The lineup, like you mentioned, is pretty good. Adrienne King makes her return. Tom Matthews, PJ Souls, and Dave Fairch from Rob Zombie's Halloween makes an appearance. Now, I believe most of those roles are going to be glorified cameos. If anybody plays like a major role, it kind of seemed like it may have been Adrienne King. I do have this sense of dread, though, that you have, because this looks like one of those just poorly put together, low budget shot indie movie, which it is, but you can make good things on a budget. I've seen it happen. This film has also been doing like the film festival circuit and the horror con circuit for the last year or so. The storyline looks okay. I have a feeling there's going to be some very poorly disguised twists in there. Again, just for the sake of having a twist. And we've talked about this before. I hate that shit. Killer Therapy. It's on DVD and video on demand now. Check it out, or if you've already seen it, let us know in the comments what you think. We'll see it soon, and we'll talk with you about it. Woo!
Yeah!
One more trailer for you guys to check out right here. Vince Vaughn? Where the hell has he been? He's been getting freaky. Look! Not you.
Good morning. Morning. That's me, Millie. Ordinary, boring Millie.
I love your dress. I think I saw it at Discount Bonanza.
Okay, so I was never the most popular.
Homecoming's this weekend. Booker is gonna be at the dance.
And boys never really noticed me. Honestly, if this was a horror movie, I'd be one of the first ones to get killed.
Cue the creepy dude in the mask.
Like I said. But actually, it turns out...
Where am I?
I didn't get killed.
Oh my God, why do I sound like that?
I woke up in the killer's body.
The Blissfield Butcher strikes again.
Don't freak out.
You're black! I'm gay! We are so dead!
Ow! Will you stop? It's me, it's Millie! Hail, Blissfield, high, feel our glory and our might.
And not only is that psycho wearing my body, he's killing it.
He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Who knows how many of our friends he's gonna kill?
Are you sure this is safe? No.
Oh my God, it's a slaughterhouse.
I have like less than 6 hours to swap back or I'm gonna be stuck in his body forever.
Hurry up, loser, I gotta take a dump.
I have to admit, it hasn't been all bad.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Move! How's that feel? I'll make you wish your stupid face was never born. Oh my God, did you just pee yourself?
Yes!
Whoa, what am I wearing?
I'm actually really liking this for you. Great. We're gonna get killed by Murder Barbie.
I can't wait to kill you.
Time to stop this asshole.
We're in this together.
I want my body back.
Come and get it.
Look, I know I look like the butcher, but it's Millie.
He's crazy.
Okay, Booker, can you look at me, please?
Booker!
Dry up, bitch.
Booker, help! Booker!
Will you shut up?
Booker!
So that's the trailer for Freaky. Coming soon to theaters? Colonel, what'd you think of Freaky?
Pretty sure this movie was made twice already. It's Freaky Friday and the remake of Freaky Friday. This movie looks freaky fucking stupid. I have no desire to say. I'm sorry. It looks terrible. Fucking Vince Vaughn, teenage girl. Okay, I've seen this shit before. No, it just looks stupid. Fuck you. If this does hit theaters, if it comes out this year, this is definitely my first fuck this shit I'm out card. I'm telling you right now. I have no desire to say.
You're going to use it, huh?
I've got two, and I haven't even used one yet.
I know. I've got two. I mean, we did have like 6 months of no movies in the theaters, so I mean, we didn't really get a chance to use our cards anyway.
See that? Who was the smart one burning one the first week? This guy.
The story behind Freaky is kind of Freaky Friday. A mystical ancient dagger causes a notorious serial killer to magically switch bodies with a 17-year-old girl. This movie is brought to you by the team from Happy Death Day, Christopher Landon. That might give you an idea of what kind of avenue and territory it's going to embark down.
How can we sit there and praise a movie like Killer Queen and then turn around and turn our nose to something like this? It's the same vein. It's going to be silly. But Vince Vaughn is funny in a movie like this. It looks absolutely like it's going to be mostly comedy. Yeah, Freaky Friday. I really want to like this. I really do. I really want to think it's going to be really good, but we know how the Freaky Friday works, and the story concludes, always works out and everything. So unless this is overheaped with a bunch of gore, I really don't see it being successful. But having said that, I do like Vince Vaughn in a comedy situation. That trends it upwards for me. So I'm looking a little more forward to this one than that last one.
Yeah, how about you, Colonel? Are you looking forward to Killer Therapy more than Freaky?
Yeah, that's sad to say, but yeah.
Really? Wow.
So I like Happy Death Day. and Happy Death Day to you? Fuck no. I know exactly what I'm getting with this fucking movie. It's going to be successful. Teenage girls are going to fucking love it. Yeah, Vince Vaughn will probably be funny in that role. But fuck you, this just looks stupid.
No love for this movie whatsoever.
No, none at all.
I didn't mind Happy Death Day too much. I kind of enjoyed the first one. Like you, Colonel, I do see and I know what kind of movie this is going to be. Still want to see it, though. Like Ziggy says, Vince Vaughn is kind of funny. I haven't seen him much lately, though. Where the hell, literally, where has he been? It could be good. It could be fun. I think it's going to be kind of middle of the road more than anything. One other thing I will add about this movie, I do like when characters switch, because I do like to watch the actors try to take on two roles in one movie. As long as they, and I know they will with the girl, I know they will establish her character while she's in her body with the girl's character. Are they going to be able to do that with Vince Vaughn's character? Because it looks like he just comes out of nowhere, tries to kill her, and they switch. You don't really know anything about Vince Vaughn or much before he switches. Are we going to be able to see that switch? And I think Vince Vaughn is one of the right actors that could pull that off, where he can act like a scary, serious killer. He didn't. He did terrible in Psycho. Fuck that. But
oh, come on, it wasn't.
He fucking did terrible in Psycho. Fuck you.
He's just not Anthony Perkins. He did.
Goddamn right, he's not.
He had some creepy moments in Psycho. I'm not going to let you say that. I won't do it.
Bullshit. You want to step outside?
Say whatever the fuck you guys want. I'm just going to sit here and get my popcorn.
And I don't know anything about this girl that's in this, so I'm curious to see how they switch. So, Freaky is in theaters Friday, November 13th. Get ready. Could be fun. If you see it before we do, let us know what you think. Guys, that wraps it up for Stories Around the Campfire this time around, and the show. Kind of a short show this time. Colonel, send them out for the evening.
Anyway, special shout out to Filmora by Wondershare for making these three goons look like professionals. We've even got the compliment that people appreciate our professional look for three very unprofessional people.
Speak for yourself, asshole. Ziggy?
We have so much more to see, and you can see it all. Just find us anywhere on the web, deathcursesociety.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and get that shit served up to you like a fucking smorgasbord, non-stop content from the Death Curse Society, because that's how we do it, baby.
Smorgasbord, you're making me hungry. I haven't eaten yet. If you also want to support the show in another way, you can always pick up one of our lovely, fresh, beautiful t-shirts. We've got 2 t-shirts available for you. We've got the original logo tee, and then we've also got the special edition Loomis, Death Has Come to Your Little Town, Death Curse Society shirt. You can flash your Loomis. That's all you got to do. Just flash it. Not in a school zone, like I always say. T-shirts are $20 a piece. For sizes small through extra large, sizes 2X through 5X are $25 a piece. You can send your money and address and info to paypal.me/zigzagisDCS. Free shipping, he'll get it right out to you, and you can dress like the DCS.
That's right, baby. And let me add this real quick. Supplies are limited, so please, before you send your money, please reach out and contact us. Let us know what you're looking for so I can go through the stock and make sure we indeed have the Loomis for you to flash.
Our next episode is going to be October 8th, and we're going to take a deep dive, hopefully, into Ratchet, which is on Netflix now. So that's going to wrap it up for the Colonel, for Zigzag. Thank you guys for watching. This is Red Crank saying DCS out, and we'll see you next time. Woo!
Monday Maniacs.
Crackers?
Who you calling a cracker? There it is.
Fuck.
First thing I get when I hit record is Colonel sneezing a couple of times. Perfect.
Always.
Now it's show day. I'm going to go back to the cracker comment.
Are we going to say that?
Not the cracker ass cracker, but I think you can call me a cracker.
Oh. That's what I want to say. If the saltine fits,
yeah.
Then I'll call you a cracker after you go, hey. All right.
I mean, that's fair game, I think, isn't it? Because we're making.
Hey, we're allowed.
We're allowed to call each other that.
All right.
That's our word.
Yeah. Coming to Zigzag on this one.
Killer Instinct, right? Or what is it?
Killer Therapy.
Killer Therapy. Therapy Killer?
Killer therapy. You trying to get on my last nerve today?
Killer therapy.